So it has emerged now that to get her depraved Nazi-esque plans to transport asylum seekers to Rwanda, a move Boris Johnson has described as providing opportunities for them, implying once there they'll be expected to integrate into Rwandan society and promptly be forgotten about here, Priti Patel has had to issue a ministerial direction to force it through. So basically, the head of her department, her top civil servant in the Home Office, has refused to endorse it. Now, it's rather rare that a civil servant will disagree with the elected minister in charge of a department, but then mass deportations of asylum seekers, we're signatories to a Refugee Convention declaring we'll protect them, don't forget, weren't in the Tory manifesto either. Besides that, the objections have been raised because of the issue over cost and legalities. There's a fear that a lot of legal action could come down the line and that this is not effective use of public money, which is somewhat inarguable. It is inevitable that it will cost more to fly people 4,000 miles away rather than just keep them here to have their claims processed, not including the inevitable court challenges that are bound to result. Some £120 million has been paid upfront to Rwanda as just the start. But how much more, we don't know, because allegedly Patel hasn't planned for the costs of litigation that civil servants have told her are bound to arise. She hasn't planned for what she'd do if asylum seekers refuse to be deported to Rwanda, for example. Perhaps that's where they've come from, maybe. It has not been costed properly at all. Fiscally responsible, my arse. Now, people are saying this is a dead cat distraction, but the ramifications are very real for those who will be affected. Rather than heed the warnings given, though, Patel has just ridden roughshod over them all with her ministerial direction. Vile just isn't a big enough word for this woman. Such is her determination to inflict maximum cruelty on people already having lost everything, many as a result of our own interference in their lands, that this is punching down on steroids. But a ministerial direction has to be made based on some sort of reason. And crucially, that reasoning has to be made public. It hasn't been yet. And if she hasn't done her homework on this, as has been implied, rather it's born out of knee-jerk racism, as it very much comes across, well, it'll be entertaining if and when we get to see her reasons for ourselves. The fact is, as much as some people celebrate the fact asylum seekers and refugees are to be removed from our shores, it violates agreements this country has in place. And any forced deportation to Rwanda has every chance of being challenged successfully in court, resulting in excessive costs and compensation paid out of the public purse, which we will all end up paying for down the line. You need to ask yourselves, is your disdain for people fleeing war zones worth the tax rises to you that will inevitably result from this, and a racist policy that is utterly unworkable?